In this video, I'm going to share with you why content is king or queen. In general, people are really overwhelmed and busy. Think about who you actually listen to. Who do you follow on a regular, consistent basis? Maybe there's one podcaster that you always listen to, or there's a blog post that is your go-to. Or maybe there's a recipe guide that you know their recipes just nail it. But in general, you don't give your attention to many people, nor should we expect that our audiences are going to give attention to us. That's why amazing content helps you find new people to get into your sales funnel while also serving those people that you've already connected with. When people come to your website, there's only two questions that they ask themselves. It's because we're so overwhelmed. Am I in the right place? And can this person actually help me? And so if I'm looking for a counselor for my daughter or for myself or for my marriage, and I land on a website and it says there's hope for your family, it just as easily could be a funeral home as it could be a counselor. So right away, if I'm confused, I'm using energy in my brain to figure out the solution rather than know if this person's the right fit. So with good quality content, you take that confusion away. So people first say, am I in the right spot? And then they say, can this person help me? Content is king for a number of reasons. Whether you make podcasts, video blogs, whether you do a regular blog or an email course or an ebook or an e-course, no matter how you create content, what you're doing is you're connecting with the pain that your audience is feeling and giving them solutions as the expert. When you position yourself as the guide or the expert and allow your client to thrive from that, they're going to trust you more and they're going to want to buy more of your products. Another reason that content is king is that we do give attention to things that matter. Think about Netflix. People talk about things being binge-worthy. How much time have you spent watching Game of Thrones or Grace and Frankie or some other TV show that you're into? People do give their attention to things if it serves a purpose. A Netflix show may just be entertaining and be an escape from the everyday world. A podcast, it might be informative and give clear takeaways. Or that recipe blog might speed things up for you. See, we give attention to the things that actually produce quality content. When people create content that doesn't matter, that's just out there to write for SEO or for Google, that's not going to help you actually grow and stand out. Instead, we want to have content that's amazing, that goes beyond what everyone else is doing, so that yes, Google looks for you and they like you and they rank you higher. But even more importantly, we want to connect with your ideal client. So taking that same idea of content that's binge-worthy, how do you make binge-worthy content? Well, you can create a series. With most blog posts, podcasts, e-courses, or video content, you can have 5 main points. So for example, my points here are people are busy, there's 2 questions people ask, we give attention, and make it binge-worthy. Each one of those I could create a separate video on. So I could do one all about how people are busy. I could do one that's all about those 2 questions or that we give attention to things. See, when we have that kind of bullet pointed approach, we can then drill into those and make a deeper series. People want to go deeper, but when you go deeper, you lose people. In the same way that a funnel, loses things. When I first met my wife, I was in high school. Later we married after college, but there was lots of girls that were out there that I could have dated. Whether or not they wanted to date me, that's a whole different thing. But then as we got to know, like, and trust each other, fewer and fewer people were in each of those categories. The same is true with you. The more you specialize in what you're writing about, what you're creating, what you're Facebook Living, the more you're going to get people that are highly passionate about you. It doesn't take many people to create an audience that really will make an impact. Numerous authors have talked about having 1,000 true fans or needing only a couple hundred qualified people on your email list. When you create highly specialized content, you select out a number of people, but then can really serve that audience. When it comes down to it, trust is where the sales come from. When people trust you, when they feel like they connect with you, when they know your story, when they see how you can be their guide to help them grow in a number of ways, that's where sales start coming in. So the more that you create that trust through content, then you'll become king or queen or president or dictator or however you want to label it. Hey, if you want more resources just like this, subscribe to this channel or check out the Practice of the Practice podcast. In this podcast, several times a month, I'm doing amazing interviews with people that I can't believe I get to interview. Just huge names like Lewis Howes, Rob Bell, Mike Michalowicz, and Jay Papasan. People that really stand out in the field of business, but that are also running a business that matters and creating a life that really is a lot of fun to live and that matches their values. So check out the podcast.